Episode 2, Section 1, The Dawn Breaks. Enough of this shit. The words were already blown away by the wind, but they stuck in Clark's teeth like grit. Clark, the name he'd taken the day the war ended. The day Karg the Defiler had to die for the world to keep breathing. The name that let him walk unseen. The name that wasn't really his. He adjusted the backpack on his shoulders and stepped out from under the bent oak. Into the open wet. The storm was finally limping away, not gone, just tired. Drops still fell from the leaves in cold, irregular taps. His camp behind him looked even smaller in the gray. Pre-dawn light, a scar of trampled mud, a dead fire pit, a single log sitting like a gravestone. Nowhere mask now, that one was ash. The only mask left, the thin, modern one, sat in his pack, waiting. He started walking. Branches snapped under his boots, loud in the quiet morning. The ground sucked at his steps, wet and heavy. Every stride a reminder of how much bigger he was than this world wanted him to be. He moved through the thinning trees toward the convenience store miles beyond the highway. The one he'd marked weeks ago. It was a long walk on foot, quicker than driving in a way, no lights, no engine, no questions. Just breath and mud and the ache in his knees. The sky was starting to pale, that ugly color between night and day. Dawn didn't feel like hope. It felt like a deadline. He hated this part, counting what little he had, knowing winter didn't care about pride, knowing Clark needed supplies to survive, but Karg despised stealing for scraps. He told himself this was survival, not greed, not thrill. Just necessity, a thicker blanket, a sturdier tarp, enough canned food to not freeze or starve when the first snow hit. Didn't make it feel any cleaner. Clark's hand drifted to the pistol at his side, then fell away. Not yet. This wasn't about violence, not unless someone forced it to be. He stepped through a shallow puddle, the cold slicing through the holes in his socks. His clothing was mismatched, scavenged, layered, nothing like the gear he once wore. Every seam felt like it knew he'd fallen far from where he started. His camp floated back into his mind. A log, a sleeping bag, a fire pit, nothing else. No shelter from the winter crawling closer. No chance of surviving it without money. A truck rumbled faintly in the distance. Clark veered deeper into the trees, away from sight, away from questions. Without the mask, he was nobody. Without the name Karg, he was less than that. The trees thinned. The scent of asphalt crept through the wet air. He could almost see the road now, the world waking up. He stopped, not from fear, from regret, the heavy, familiar kind that lived in his bones. He opened his pack and touched the robbery mask. Smooth, light, a new identity for an old sin. He didn't put it on yet, not here, not while the forest still had his back. Get it done, he muttered, voice low, rough. The dawn kept coming anyway. Episode 2, Section 2A, The Robbery, Part 1. Clark slipped out of the tree line just as the sun cracked the horizon. The mask went on, then modern. Nothing like the iron one he'd burned, and the world shifted with it. Clark faded, Karg surfaced. Practical, cold, heavy-hearted. The convenience store sat alone at the edge of town. Lights humming, open sign flickering like it wasn't sure yet. Only a few cars in the lot. His breath fogged as he crossed the asphalt. Inside, a small family gathered near the back coolers, mother, father. Little girl clutching a cereal box almost too big for her arms. Something in her posture jabbed at him, a faint echo of the youngest Heartwood. He kept his coat low, pistol visible at his waist but untouched. He didn't need it for this part. He stepped just far enough inside for the glass door to roll shut behind him. Then he released the command. The air tightened. His will cracked out like a silent whip. The parents froze mid-motion. The child stiffened. Small hands locked around the box. Their eyes stayed wide, aware. afraid, but their bodies were statues. They didn't know why. They wouldn't remember. Karg walked toward them, boots whispering against the tile. He crouched beside the child, lowering his voice but not softening it. "Do not fear, child. I will not hurt you." The girl couldn't blink, but her breath caught, a tremble trapped inside a body that couldn't move. He stood again with a low grunt and turned toward the counter. That was when he felt it, the resistance, a pressure, something pushing back against his will. The cashier, a high elf with pale hair pulled into a tight knot, wasn't frozen at all. His eyes were sharpened points of alarm, tracking Karg's every step. Shit. Karg's hand went to his pistol, fast but controlled, and raised it toward the counter. Not to kill, just to survive this moment. His stomach knotted with the hope he wouldn't have to hurt anyone today. The elf straightened slowly, hands half lifted. Fear and defiance tangled in his expression. Karg took one step closer, just one. Open the register. The elf didn't move, didn't breathe for a second, only stared. Karg tightened his grip. His voice dropped into something darker. I said, "Open the register." Episode 2, Section 2B, The Robbery, Part 2. The elf didn't move, just stared at Karg like he was trying to decide whether to be brave or stupid. Karg angled the pistol higher, not shaking, not shouting, just cold fact in his voice. "Listen to me. I don't want to hurt you. But if you don't open that fucking register, I will blow your brains against that wall." The words hit the air like metal, heavy, unmistakable. The high elf's breath faltered, his jaw clenched. He flicked a look at the frozen family, eyes widening at their impossible stillness, and something inside him cracked. He swallowed hard. "Oh, okay. He moved with trembling precision toward the counter. Karg stayed close behind, gun leveled, boots quiet against the tile. Every motion felt stretched thin, the hum of the lights, the elf's ragged breathing, the soft drip of water from Karg's coat hitting the floor. At the register, the elf punched the code with shaking fingers. One wrong press, a pause. Then he corrected it. Karg watched every inch of him. No sudden moves, no chances. The drawer popped open with a metallic snap. "Step back," Karg ordered. The elf obeyed fast, almost tripping. Karg crouched and grabbed only what he needed. Bills. Not stacks. Enough to buy winter. Not enough to scream heist. He left half the cash untouched. He wasn't a thief looking to get rich, just a man trying not to die in the cold. He shoved the drawer shut, not gently, not cruelly, just done. When he stood, the elf flinched like he expected the shot. Karg holstered the pistol. "You live because I chose it. Remember that much, nothing else." Then he released the command, holding the family frozen. 3 bodies inhaled at once, sharp. Panicked, disoriented, the parents pulled the girl close, blinking rapidly like waking from a nightmare they couldn't quite recall. Karg didn't stay to see the rest. He pushed through the front door like a shadow slipping loose, the mask still on, his stride calm, controlled, like he'd simply bought a drink and left. Only when he turned the corner did he run. His boots pounded the pavement, then grass, then mud, breath tearing through his chest. The woods swallowed him fast, long strides eating distance until the town was nothing but noise behind him. Once the trees closed around him, he stripped the mask off, stuffed it in the pack, hands moving fast but steady, his pulse hammering in his ears. Not fear, not triumph, just the weight of what survival cost. He changed clothes in second, jacket off. Shirt switched, pants swapped. Mask buried deep, Clark again. The version of him the world didn't see coming. The sun finally crested the horizon, pale light cutting through the branches. Karg exhaled slow, shaking it out of his shoulders. Winter wouldn't kill him today. Episode 2, Section 3, Heat and the Cold. The woods swallowed him again long before the sun climbed high. Clark kept moving until the adrenaline drained out of his legs and the weight of what he'd done settled in the hollow of his chest. By the time he reached his camp, the fire pit was a puddle and the log was slick with rain. He dropped his pack beside the bent oak and crouched at the pit. The storm had soaked everything. Every stick felt like it had been drowned on purpose. He scraped together what he could: dead branches, brittle bark, shavings from the underside of a half-rotted limb. The first spark died instantly, the second hissed. The third finally caught, barely, flickering like it was fighting him. "Lazy bastard," he muttered at the flame. I said burn. Slowly the fire obeyed. Clark set his small metal pot on a flat stone and poured in what little water he had. He tore off the last strip of dried deer meat, tough, thin, barely a meal, and held it over the rising warmth until the grease softened. Steam curled up, carrying the smell of smoke and something older. It wasn't enough food to call dinner or breakfast, just survival. He sat on the log, elbows on his knees, watching the fire fight for its life. The shame sat beside him like an old comrade, familiar, unwelcome, impossible to ignore. "That's where you are now," he growled under his breath. "Stealing scraps so you don't freeze." The anger came next, warmer, easier, while they sit in their clean little houses. He muttered, warm, fed, smug. He chewed the meat slowly, jaw tight. The taste was nothing. His thoughts were everything. He remembered command tents, strategy tables, soldiers who'd look at him like he was the spine of the whole damn army. Now he had a tarp that leaked and a pot that rattled when it boiled. He stared into the fire for a moment. He saw faces in the flames, warriors he'd lost, warriors he'd failed. "Shut up," he told the ghosts, not loud, just tired. The fire cracked, the pot rattled, steam hissed in thin white streams. Clark drank the hot water in slow sips, letting the heat settle in his chest. It wasn't comfort, but it was something that didn't taste like guilt. The morning crawled toward midday. The sun filtered weakly through wet branches, lighting the ruined camp like it was refusing to look directly at him. Clark set the empty pot aside, rubbed his palms together. "Winter's coming," he muttered, "and I'm not dying in it." But the shame still pressed against his ribs, and the anger still burned hotter than the fire. Episode 2, Section 4, Foundations. Clark walked the back road into town with the hood of his coat low over his face. The morning air was colder here, sharper, the kind that slipped under clothes and bit into bone. He moved like a shadow passing through a world that didn't want to look at him, which was exactly what he needed. The department store sat bright and clean at the edge of the strip mall. Glass doors shining, warm lights humming. A different universe compared to the mud still drying on his boots. He kept his head down as he stepped inside. The heat hit him first. Then the eyes, people glancing, staring, then jerking their gaze away when he looked back. They saw size, broad shoulders, calloused hands, but not danger, not yet. He moved through the aisles with purpose, lumber section first, pre-cut planks stacked in neat bundles. What would take a normal man 2 trips? He lifted with one hand and tucked under his arm like it weighed nothing. A couple nearby paused mid-conversation, watching him for half a second too long. Clark ignored them. Bitterness sat in his throat like smoke. Used to carry swords heavier than this for days. Next came the tent, a proper one, waterproof, sturdy, something that actually counted as shelter. Then a lamp with a rechargeable battery. Cheap, but reliable. He tossed it gently into the cart. The cashier didn't greet him, didn't need to. Karg slid the items forward and dug a folded stack of money from his pocket. Cash hit the counter, cold and quiet. The young man behind the register hesitated, eyes flicking to Karg's hood, then to his massive hands. You, camping or something? Karg grunted, something between yes and leave it alone. That was enough. The cashier rang everything up without another question. Karg gathered the supplies, lumber tucked under one arm, tent and lamp in the other hand, and stepped out into the pale morning. The sun was higher now, midday creeping near. Every step back toward the woods was heavy with thought. Bitter ones, the kind that burn hotter than fire. Once commanded battalions, now buying tents like a lost hound finding scraps. But he didn't complain, couldn't. He'd done what he had to for the sake of his people, for the sake of the ones still starving, behind walls built by elves who never missed a meal. He reached the tree line and slipped into the shade, like a ghost shedding the weight of the world. The masks, both of them, stayed buried for now. Only Karg walked these woods, supplies in hand, shame and anger in his chest, and the first real steps toward rebuilding something he could survive in. That's where we're going to stop for now. I don't post these every day. I take my time, and I put real work into every chapter. And tonight, this is as far as we can go. Karg made it back to camp with winter supplies and stolen cash. No witnesses, no questions, no mistakes. Just the cold night, the forest, and a plan simmering under the surface. Next time, we're getting into the real work, the heavy stuff, because Karg's about to build something big out there in those woods. And trust me, it's not just shelter. Thank you for sticking with the story. This is the first time I've ever shared something I've created, and you being here means everything. If you made it this far, drop truth in the comments so I know you're still with me. Tune in next episode. Things are about to shift.